Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to an episode of Kate with Linda. So it is Monday, guys, and I'm coming on because I want to give you a little insight about how my weekend was. As you could see, the video that I put up last night of Bill and I's little getaway that we went on. Last week was a very stressful week. Thursday in the afternoon, I just lost it. Like, I don't even remember what it was that just tipped me over the top of the bottle. Not the bottle. That put me over the edge. Let's see that. And I just lost it, and I was hysterically crying, and I just couldn't take any more. It's just been really rough with Jen. She's been having some really, really serious, behavioral issues that are really just hard. And so anyway, I completely lost it. I had a breakdown, and I was very upset, and I just needed to, de-stress and all of that. And my husband's like, let's go away for the weekend, so I wanted to really go to see my best friend in Pennsylvania, but she had other commitments, and it was short notice, so we couldn't do that. So I'm like, well, I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're doing something. We got to get away. We got to get out of here for a day or two. So my husband and Julie was looking at places and everything, and we were like, oh my God, Atlantic City. So guys, we went to Atlantic City, as you see in the video. We had a great time, great time, but there were, it's hard because I don't want to come on here and seem ungrateful and complain and everything, and I'm not. But I want to also tell you my experience, so you guys can learn from it or just hear it. So we searched around for a hotel. We wanted to stay in a hotel that had the casino in it and all the stuff in it because, number one, my back, I can't do a lot of walking. Number two, I just wanted to stay within the same area because I don't know if you've heard about Atlantic City, but for a long time now, excuse me, it always happens when I'm talking, I yawn. Atlantic City, since Trump Plaza went out and just all, what's happened the last 5-10 years, it's just been not that in great shape. Inside the hotels and everything is good and safe and all that. But when you walk out of the hotels, sometimes you think you're living in I don't know. It just there's a lot of homeless. There's a lot of, not that I begrudge anybody. I'm not saying that, but it's just the area doesn't feel really safe to me. That's just my opinion. But it is other people's opinions too, and is kind of a fact. So we were trying to find a hotel. We wanted to stay inside, like one of the major hotels, like the Tropicana, or there's a few other ones there, whatever. But they didn't have any really openings, and the Tropicana, where we went and you see all the stuff, the restaurants and the comedy show and all of that, it was a little high priced. I mean, obviously, you're in Atlantic City. So the hotel right next to the Tropicana, literally, I mean, as you can see in the videos, here was our hotel, here was the Tropicana. Literally, you walk out the door and you got to go maybe 5 steps and it's right there. Okay? Right there. So the hotel was reasonable. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive, but it was cheaper than going to the Tropicana. And it had all the amenities we wanted. It had a nice pool, we saw the pictures. It had a pool. It kind of looked like, even on the pictures, the vibe of like when you go to like the beach or like the Jersey Shore or whatever shore you go to. And it's like an outside doors. And that kind of gave it away immediately. Like I said, I even questioned it. I said to myself, you sure this isn't, this, I don't know about this hotel, because it had 4 stars. There was all kinds of reviews on it that my husband looked at and said it was good and all of that, but you couldn't really see the gist of where it was in its own place, as to opposed to where the Tropicana was, and you couldn't just see the whole big picture. So anyway, we figured it's pretty, it's a nice amount of money. It's got to be a nice hotel, okay? Well, so we get there, okay? Now, what I'm going to say to you is that the hotel was very nice, and like it was right on the beach, like maybe 2 or 3 buildings down from, like, here was the water, the beach, and here was the hotel. You know what I mean? So you're right, like you could see the ocean if you look up, you could see the ocean. It was very nice, but it was trying to figure how to put this. I don't know. I just felt like we didn't belong there. Not that we didn't belong there, okay? Number one, okay, it's very difficult because I wanted to go and relax and just clear my head and not have havoc and stress and all of that. And of course, when you go on a vacation, you are having, vacations are always a little stressful. I mean, you know that. Comment down below if you agree with that, because, I always used to say I need a vacation from my vacation, because it's always so hustle and bustle, and you're doing this and you're doing that, and you want to do this, but we were mainly going just to relax and all of that. And the resort that we wanted to go to was in PA, in Pennsylvania, that we had gone to like 3 or 4 years ago. That was so nice, and it was just, they had a couple of little restaurants. The casino was like 5 minutes away, but it was like very, it was very kind of quiet. They had like this beautiful inside pool and outside pool. It just was where I really wanted to go, but they had no openings because it was last minute, so we couldn't go there. So, Atlantic City was like, oh God, let's go to Atlantic City. So I'm getting off topic. Well, not really, but anyway, so the atmosphere of this hotel was not where I wanted to be. Like, I wouldn't have chose that, if I knew 100% that that's what it was. So we get there, and there's just a lot of people around, and like kids running around, and just and so the pool looked beautiful. I showed you guys the pool. Oh, it looked so crisp and just inviting, and just really, really wanted it. I couldn't wait to go into the pool. So we went up to our room, which, okay, let me tell you, okay, thank God they had an elevator, because we were on the 3rd floor, okay. Here is the elevator, okay. You get off the elevator. I'm trying to explain it using the remote. Here's the elevator. Literally, guys, we had to, after you get off the elevator, we had to go almost like a whole, like, trying to think of how to put it. We had a long, it was like 3 hallways that you just had to go really all the way around. So it was a long walk. It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't anything that I couldn't, that I wouldn't have, said, oh, whatever. It was rough for me because of my back and stuff. So anyway, our room was all the way, like, here was the elevator, and our room was all the way on the 3rd floor and straight ahead. You could see our room, but it was all the way, if you get what I'm saying. It was on the other side totally of the where the elevator dropped you off. So that was the number 1 strike. But it was feasible. I mean, it was what it was, and I'm not the Queen of England or anything, so it is what it is. It was fine. Okay, that was strike 1. Then, so we get there, we go into the room, and the room is very clean. The air conditioning's working perfectly. The bed's nice. The bathroom was clean. Everything was clean. I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, the room was about a 7 or an 8. Which is fine. Which is fine for us. We don't, we're not like I said, we're not, we're not. We don't need a 5-star room, even though of course we would want one, and everybody would want one. It was definitely like around, I would say around a 7 or 8, which was fine. As long as it was clean, guys, and all that, that's all I really cared about at that moment, okay? Because we weren't going to live in the room, even though that's really what I was going for. Not to live in the hotel room, but just to relax and everything. You guys get what I'm saying, okay? So when we got into the room, well, first of all, around the area, well, let me say this first, okay? So we get into the room, we get all our stuff organized, because my husband is like, taking the suitcase up and putting everything around and just organizing everything. He's Mr. Organizer. I let him just do what he wants because he likes to do that, so whatever. So we're sitting there and I'm like, oh, I want to go in the pool. Like, you looked out if you opened up the window, you can see the pool. If you open up the curtains, the pool's right there, and it just looks so nice and blue and crisp and just, let me show you in here. I know you guys have seen the pictures, but on the video, but I just want to bring it up here and show you. So, I was really, really excited because I like the pool. Like, I always want to go swimming, but I don't have, where I live, there's no pool to go to other than the Y, which is inside, and I don't want to go to an inside pool. In the summer, I want to go to an outside pool. But I also can't go to pools that you have to climb up to get into. Because of my back and my weight and all that stuff, guys. I'm not embarrassed to say. I mean, that you guys know my situation and all that. It's harder for me to go up. So I need to go into like an underground pool that you go down into, which, let me show you, which is this. Now look at that pool. Look at how, try to get it. Look at how nice and crisp and nice and beautiful that looks, okay? The water's nice and blue. Oh, God, it was beautiful. And it was very warm out. Very warm. Very hot. So I was excited. So, I hear a lot of havoc, a lot of, noise and stuff go out there. So I look out and I see this, a few people there. And, it's a public pool. So, obviously you're going to be with strangers. You're going to be with other people. But I really wasn't feeling it as much as being with so many people. But I wanted to go into the pool. So we get our stuff on, we go down there, and the first thing we notice is, number one, there is literally 3 lounge chairs. 3. Now, it's a hotel. I don't know how many people, it's a large hotel. They had 3 lounge chairs. Really? Okay, that was the first thing. So there were no lounge chairs available. Then they had these chairs that, like, I have in my backyard that are kind of like cheap chairs, and they move up and down, and like they're very flimsy. They had like maybe I would say 4 or 5 of those. Then they had the Adirondack chairs that I have by my fire pit. But the real good ones, they had those, but they had plastic ones. So if you were a chubby girl like me, I really wasn't feeling comfortable sitting in those, okay? They had maybe 4 of those. 3 or 4 of those. So they had 3 lounge chairs, okay, which is for 3 people, and then those chairs. We were able to, my husband's looking around, and he found one of those flimmy, those other chairs, ones I was just telling you about, that move like back and forth, like, the back moves back and forth. And I look at it and I'm like, it's all cracked, all on the bottom, it's all broken. So that was even, you couldn't even sit in that one. So he went and he found another one like that. It was very flimsy, so I sat in it and that was okay. But it was just so uncomfortable, guys. So okay, so that was the second strike. Okay, was that the first strike? Yeah. That was the second strike. It's gonna be a lot of strikes. Okay, so we get down and we get situated, and I'm sitting there, and there's a couple of there's one family, and then there's a couple of like random single people, just around jumping in and out of the pool and everything, and it was fine. People had their music blasting, and it was like I felt like I was at the Jersey Shore, like at a teenage party or something. That's if you get my drift. And then so there was a family there, and they had two kids. They must have been, I think they were probably 3 or 4. There was 2 of them, a girl and a boy, and they were adorable. They had their little vests on, and they were jumping right into into the 3-foot section, jumping in and then going out and then jumping in again, and they were having a ball. They were cute, they were having a fun time, and I didn't begrudge anybody of that. I was like, that's great, you know what I mean, whatever. But in the same respect, I wanted to go in that area because, number one, I'm not a swimmer. I like to go in the pool in the low section, the 4 or 5 foot section, just relax and whatever. So it takes me a little while to go in because where we were sitting, there was no sun. We sat like kind of in the shade, and even though it was hot, you didn't have the sun on you, so you weren't really hot. You know what I mean? But you were sitting there for like 10 minutes, and Billy's like, "You're gonna go in?" And I'm like, "I really want to, but I don't know. I just feel awkward and all this, and whatever." So we're sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? It looks so good. I'm gonna go in. So the kids were really rambunctious, and oh, by the way, the parents were there, but they weren't there. What happened was here was where they were sitting, and right behind them was their hotel room. So it was, and the gate was right there, so they could go in and out, and their room was right there. So they were there, sitting there, and then they were in their room. They came in and out. They did really just randomly left their kids alone. They had an older, I think it was an older daughter sitting there watching them, but she was not even paying attention. So anyway, they had no supervision. They were doing what they wanted, and mind you guys, they had water guns. Was it water guns? Yes, they had water guns, which is fine. They were having fun. Like I said, adorable kids. So I get in the pool. I carefully walk in, go down the 4 steps. The water was a little chilly because, it was just a little chilly, but it wasn't cold. But it was, of course, when you get in, it's first chilly. So I get in and I start walking over, and the little boy, they're right near me, and the little boy comes over to me. He said something to me, I don't know, and he went like this with his water gun, and I was like, and I looked at him I didn't say anything, but I'm like, and so I started walking, and I started walking towards the end of the pool so I could lean on the side, and I turned around, and he started shooting me with his water gun. Yeah. Okay. Now listen, guys, I love kids. I have a lot of patience, but I notice as I get older, my patience are really not that great. And, it's just everything. And it's like, I just don't have the patience anymore. And, when I saw the kids, of course, I was like, hi. They were like, hi, and we were whatever. But then when he started shooting me, and I turned around and I said, you need to stop doing that, okay? You can't shoot me. Very nicely, I said it. And he goes, but I want to shoot you. And I said, okay, I know, but you can't, so you got to shoot I said, so shoot each other. So I turned around and went away from him. Well, this boy was on me. He kept following me. He kept, shooting me. He was just like in my face, in my grill. And all I wanted to do, guys, was just sit there like this and just close my eyes and just sit there and not have anybody talk to me, not have anybody touch me. And this boy, was like a magnet. So I took a couple of breaths, what I do, and tried to come into terms with it and sit there for a moment. And then, so he got bored and he went over to the other side of the pool or whatever. So then I wanted to be where the sun was because there was no really sun on that side and it was chilly. So I started walking across the pool to the other side of the pool, and I get to the end there, and I'm sitting there, you know, leaning up against the back, and just relaxing and stuff. And he comes over to me, and he's just staring at me, and he has the gun, and he's pretending like he's going to shoot me, and he's, and I'm like, and then he keeps coming closer to me, like he was taunting me almost, and nobody was saying anything, and like the parent, the sister was sitting right there, like somebody, should, like, listen, guys, I am all for, taking care of your responsibility. If your kid is at a place and your kid is starting to bother somebody, if my kid was doing that, I wouldn't even let my kid go near that person. I'd be like, don't bother them, whatever. I would immediately be on it. These people didn't care one bit. They were very selfish, very self-centered, didn't care what their kids were doing. And, there's no lifeguard there because it's a swim at your own risk, whatever. The parents are supposed to be, there. And the parents, like I said, were in and out. So I all of a sudden just lost it. Like I was looking at my husband, and I'm like, because I was here, and he was like sitting way, over in the pool area still. So I look at him, and I'm like, and he's like, so we were just like kind of making eyes with each other, and I just, I stood there for a second, and I said, that's it, I'm done. And I started like walking and going to get out of the pool. And then the kid happened to just run, like he ran. He must have maybe been scared because I don't know. Maybe I yelled it. I don't remember. And he went on the other side. So then I just sat back there and stayed there. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to relax now. He's not bothering me. And then my husband came in the pool. So then we were hanging out together in the pool and for a little while, maybe another 15, 20 minutes. The kids were still out there being all rambunctious and everything else, and then I get out of the pool because I was like, I'm done. Couldn't enjoy myself, couldn't relax. It was just, the atmosphere was not where I wanted to be. And so we get out of the pool, and then we sit down and we move our chairs over to the other side because the sun is there, and we were wet, so it was cold. Like it was cold outside. If you had your arms outside the water, it was chilly. Because it was very breezy there because you're right by the ocean. It's very pretty, very nice, but it was chilly. So anyway, to make a long story short, we moved our chairs over to the sun, and that's where we were when we were in our chairs. Let me show you that other picture I showed you guys. It is on the video, but when we were laying on the chairs, and then then the family decided to leave. They got the kids out of the pool, and they were getting them, get their stuff off, and they were getting ready to go to their little room, which was right there right by the pool. And so I was like, are you kidding me? So by that time, I didn't want to go back in the pool. I was like, you know what, I'm done. But we sat there in the sun. We laid there, and this is that picture that I have of me right there lounging, and I'm lounging. And that chair right there that I'm sitting in is a sit-up chair. It's not a lounge chair. It's one of those regular chairs, and the side of it was digging in my my leg. Yeah, but I was relaxing. That's when I finally just laid there and relaxed, okay? So we laid there for about 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour. It felt really good. It was nice and calm. And then, there were people coming in, and the pool was right there, and like they had just rambunctious like teenagers, like doing like what are they called? Those things in the pool, splashing in the pool, jumping in the whatever. It just was not the place for me, guys. It's not where I wanted to be. It's not where I wanted to go. You know what I mean? And it just was disappointing. So anyway, so we got up and I'm like, let's just go, So we left. We went back up to the hotel room, and we got ready, and then from there we went for lunch because we had lunch first, yeah, and then we went to the pool. So after that, then we went back, cleaned up and all that, and then later on we went to the comedy show, and we went to dinner and all of that, and we had a ball. We had a really, really good time. But the other thing is that I forgot to tell you this. When we're at the pool, we're sitting there, and I'm saying to my husband, like, in the garbage can, I was like here again with the phone and the remote. I was here. Well, we were here, and the garbage can was like here, so you could see the garbage can. So listen to this, guys. I'm going to my husband. I don't know what's going on. Do you smell that? And he's like, smell what? And I'm like, it smells like skunk. Is there a skunk maybe in that garbage can? I don't know, but I can't sit here for very long. This is disgusting. And he turns around and he looks at me and goes, Linda, that's not a skunk. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, that's pot. That's marijuana you smell. So because it's legal now, they smoke it right anywhere. And those people in the corner with the kids were smoking it. The people on the other side were just smoking it. Guys, if I can tell you, it made me so sick. It was so nauseating. It was so strong that it smelled like, literally like skunk, but chemical skunk. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like the skunk smell, but it was like a chemical, if you get what I mean. If you ever smelt it, you know it was disgusting. So anyway, the whole hotel area, you opened up your door to go out and you smelt it. You came out of your room and went down to the pool, you smelt it. You know, the people right next to us, in the room right next to us, my husband said he saw them going out and smoking it. You know, and so everybody was smoking it. So the whole place smelled like marijuana. Okay, guys, I really think that I was high the whole time. I really do. I really do think that I had some in me. I felt lightheaded and just didn't feel good. You know, I didn't feel 100%. It just was awful. That whole situation was awful. So the only relief we got was either when we were in the room or when we were in Tropicana. So we didn't hang out anywhere other than, you know, we went right to the room, and then we would go to the Tropicana, do whatever, you know, and then just come right back. We never hung out outside. I mean, I would go out once in a blue moon, just to look outside and just to see a little bit of the sun or whatever, and then I go right back in because it was so disgusting. Like, I literally didn't feel good. So so that was strike. What am I on? Strike 4? Strike 4. So that was just very, very uncomfortable. I didn't feel comfortable where we were. Not that I didn't feel safe. I felt safe. But I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, my safety level that I felt was probably about an 8. That's probably what I felt, an 8. Okay? But when you walked out of our hotel, which was right here, you walked 3 feet down, which was where the casino and the hotel Tropicana was. It was like walking from. It was like night and day. It was like night, and then as soon as you walked in there, it was like daylight. You know, completely a different world. Just beautiful and safe, and just, you know, you felt that way. And it was very, very beautiful. So thank God we had that, and we really did have a good time. Like, you know, we didn't let that hinder us because, let's face it, we did spend a lot of money there. I mean, our hotel was, I'm not going to tell you exactly, it doesn't even really matter, but our hotel room was under $300 a night for 2 nights. So, you know, not too much under $300. So, you know, it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap at all. In the Tropicana, we would have paid like $250 more a night, probably $300, and we just didn't want to spend that. So we thought this hotel was sufficient from what we saw. You know what I mean? And so that's what happened. But next time, I can tell you, I will not go to Atlantic City and stay there or stay in that type of situation, because when you're spending that kind of money, you know, we were only there 2 days. You want to enjoy every bit, and you just want to make sure that, you know, you're going to be able to. Nothing is perfect in life. Things happen. You know what I mean? You know, I don't begrudge anybody or, you know, or judge anybody for living the life that they live as far as smoking marijuana or whatever. I mean, these were young people. They weren't people that were, you know, sickly and using marijuana to heal their pain and everything else. They were doing it because they could do it, you know. But it just was rude, and it wasn't like nobody cares about anybody else. They just do whatever they want to do, and so what if you walk out into a pile of smoke? We actually were on our way back from the Tropicana. We had went out the back way and we were going to our hotel. And all of a sudden, like, I was just walking and breathing, and I took like a breath in. Well, let me tell you something. I don't know what it was, but I had like a tickle in my throat, like, and I had a coughing fit. I almost like threw up. I felt like my air was restricted. I think it was all like the cannabis and the pollution and just, everything. I felt so awful. When we got into the hotel, like, it took me a few minutes to get there. I was really short of breath, and I sat and relaxed for a while, and I felt better. But it was all that shit, because of my lungs from the COVID and everything. It just did not do me any justice. It really didn't. But all in all, while saying all that, we really did have a good time. We enjoyed each other. We had a lot of, we were able to relax and just laugh and have fun together and not have any stresses and not nitpick about, life and just our daily life and everything that goes on and everything else. It was really, really, really very pleasurable. And every single time we started talking about something that might get us in that mode, we were like, no, I'm not going to go there. I said, I'm just going to breathe in, breathe out, take a breath, and, and come back to the moment, because I was trying to stay in the moment. My therapist has taught me to stay in the moment. Don't worry about what's going to happen on Monday, if it's Friday, or what's going to happen, or what happened last week, or what's happening tomorrow. Be in the moment, because when you're in the moment, then you can enjoy that moment, and it doesn't take away your joy. Because if I'm thinking about, like, Monday I have so much to do, or Tuesday I have to do this and I don't want to do this, and procrastinating and everything, then I'm taking the joy away from that moment. So you really have to be conscious of it, and that's what we were, and I was, and we really had a good time. We had really fun. Like I said, we laughed, we joked, and we ate, and we had a great time. So yeah, I came home yesterday, and of course, as soon as we weren't even in the door yet, and Jen's calling me, Mom, this, that, and the other. I need this for this program, this and that. And then when we get here, I'm talking about what we're going to make for dinner, and Jennifer's, having a crazy, having an issue because she wanted tacos, and we weren't having tacos, and like, we were home not even an hour, and it was all beginning. So we had decided that while we were away, we were talking about how we were going to try to handle and cope with our issues that we had, our stresses at home, because it's not something that's going to go away. So we need to find a way to manage it better, because I will end up in the mental institution. I can't, guys. I can't. It's just too much piling on to each other, and it's just stacking up. And we need to relieve our stress, both of us. Him too. I mean, he's this man has so many stresses he takes on everything. And, so we spoke about it, and we decided on how we're going to handle Jennifer more, and just, how we're going to handle the house, and just issues that come up and everything. And it's a work in progress. Let me tell you something. And it was a test when we got home with Jennifer yesterday. Love her to death, guys, but she is a handful. She's a handful. And it really, 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 really affects us in a very, very, hard way. So we spoke about that. So that's kind of, I feel better about that situation and everything. So we're working on all of that. And then, on Wednesday, I weighed in last week, and I lost 4 pounds. So I was excited, because I'm supposed to be, I had to be 14 pounds down before I could go and make my surgery appointment. So when we just decided to go away, I'm like, oh God, this is not going to be good. I hope I don't gain any weight, and I don't want to go backtrack and all of this. But I also knew that I needed to do this for myself, and I was going to try to make the most out of the best decisions that I could make as far as food wise while I was there. So I kind of took every meal as itself. I said, okay, I'll try not to have a carb at this meal and whatever. So, but I didn't, like, I wasn't perfect. I had French fries, and I had a roll, and like, if I was having a carb, I tried not to have a sugary drink, or I tried to stay away from all of that. Like, I had I had unsweetened iced tea. You know, I did have a couple of alcohol drinks. I had, what I have, one of those coconut things, rum things. I had a White Russian, which is Kahlua and milk, and you know, I had, I think I had one other drink. So I had like 3 glasses of alcohol the whole time I was there. You know, but I did have a dessert, which I really wasn't planning on having, but you know, you go on vacation, you're going to have a dessert. We did have 2 desserts. I had one at the restaurant, this banana, spring roll banana. Oh, guys, it was amazing. With this pineapple ice cream. I think I showed it to you. I did show it to you on the thing. But this pineapple ice cream that was to die for. Oh my God, that's all I have to say. And the last night, Saturday night, I had a Haagen-Dazs. Where am I? A Haagen-Dazs ice cream cone, which was so amazing. Right here, let me show you. So that was the dessert. I only had 2 of those. Okay, so the thing is, you see it. There it is, see? They're like fried spring rolls, guys. Oh my God, guys. It was so amazing. So I had that. So I did have a couple of desserts. Okay, I did so much walking. I drank so much water and was very active. So I thought to myself, you know what? I don't think I even gained any weight. You know what I mean? I don't think so. So I waited to weigh myself this morning because tomorrow I go to weigh in at the doctor's office to see how much weight I lost, to see if I can get my surgery date. So I said I'm not going to weigh in until tomorrow, which is today, Monday, because I don't want to weigh myself tonight because you know you don't weigh yourself at night, you weigh yourself in the morning. So I did, and I'm up. What am I up? Wait a minute. I gained like 2.5 pounds, almost 3 pounds. Not happy with myself. Not happy with myself, but I figured, you know what? I really didn't think I was going to gain because of all the activity I did. I really didn't, but so I'm back on it strict today, and I think next couple of days I'll lose 1 or 2, you know, by the end of the week I'll lose 2 or 3 pounds again, and you know, I didn't want to backtrack, but it is what it is. What's one more week? Whatever it is, it is. So I go tomorrow, and I'll see what she says. Hopefully I'll lose another pound by tomorrow, and she'll give me my date. But so it wasn't that bad, you know. But I enjoyed myself. We had a great time, and we made memories, and you know, and that's it, guys. So you know, I'm just trying to stay on track for this surgery because this is all it's about. I need to get it done, need to move on, and I can't, you know, it's just too much. Stresses and all of that. But all in all, we had a really, really great time. Husband started a new job today, so he's there now, and so back to reality and back to what's real. What's real. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to get moving. It's 11:15, and you know, in the morning. Probably going to get my nails done, redone. So these are done. They're done. So I need to get my nails done. Not that I need to, but I want to. I want to. So do that, and I have to make a video in a couple of minutes. So I got to get moving and get going before Jennifer comes home, which is 12:01, literally 3 hours, guys. She leaves at 8:15. She's home at 2 o'clock. It's like a hop, skip, and a jump. It's like I wake up and she's home. She goes out the door and she's home. So I just got to get as much done as possible because it's very, very, very stressful. Very stressful. All right, guys. So I just wanted to tell you guys how it was. And I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for, sticking around for when I'm off here and there. You know, it really was a nice thing to not have the pressure of having to get a video up and all of that. It's not any pressure that you guys put on me. It's pressure I put on myself because I love to do what I do. I love to do all this stuff. I love being a part of this. I love you know, showing you guys my life and being creative and all of that. So it's just pressure I put on myself. But it was very relaxing not having to worry, you know, or stress about any of the YouTube. But it's what I like to do, so you know, the stress comes with it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much again. I love all of you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button on the bottom if you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the notification button with the bell so you guys can be notified every time I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below, because when you guys comment, it really does help my video, guys. All right? It does help my channel, guys. All right, guys. Love yous, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.